Coach, since we last talked, plenty going on. Just thinking about that stretch, and there was the Gonzaga game. It was Gonzaga, San Francisco, San Diego, Pepperdine. We'll kind of go lightning round here a little bit, but Gonzaga, a top 10 opponent against the Bulldogs, a very talented team. Gonzaga comes and gets the victory. How do you look back on that game with Gonzaga?
Well, I'm good with just skipping to the last team if you want. No, that Gonzaga game was a tough one for us. I thought it was an eye-opening experience for us, just playing in front of a crowd like that. And you know, I think every game that we've played, we felt like when we're playing Washington State basketball, that we should be able to go compete and do things the right way. Unfortunately, we had a tough stretch, about 10 minutes into the game to about 18 minutes in the game, where they made a big run, and unfortunately we weren't able to get over that. But it was a good game, a great environment. Pullman came out, and it was a fun atmosphere. Yeah, we'll have to get them back at their place.
We'll talk about it a little bit more, but Simon Hildebrand ended up with a career high in that game, got especially hot from deep early on, and then he turned around in the next home game against Pepperdine, had another career high, and we can just get into it right now. It was neat to see that for Simon. I know when you've talked about him before, you mentioned, hey, for a good chunk of the offseason, he was either injured or coming back from an injury, transfer from High Point, so went to the NCAA tournament with High Point last year, and it's been neat to see, especially those last two home games, him play his best basketball of the season.
Yeah, it's really cool to see him turning the corner, and you know, he was dealing with that foot injury for like a year and a half. He had played Canadian college basketball and then went directly into the summer league in Canada, which is a really high level league, and then directly into playing for High Point. And so just really didn't get any time off, and got a foot injury that just kind of lingered for a year and a half. And it took him a little bit to get his feet under him and get the timing right, but I think for this stretch run, it's just great to have him playing his best basketball and really clicking with our other guys.
And then that takes us to that road trip, a unique one, as we said, a Sunday through Wednesday. And I don't know about you, just kind of being a creature of habit when January and February and March rolls around. You know, maybe it might not always be Thursday, Saturday, but it's a Wednesday or a Tuesday in there, or maybe a Sunday instead of a Saturday. How different was it? It felt just out of the normal routine to go on the road and have it be Sunday through Wednesday.
It was different, you know, and there's some really nice parts about it. Our guys got to go down to the Pacific Beach for a couple hours and walk through Chinatown in San Francisco, which was great. But I think our team is you know, they love Pullman, and they love being up here because they're hoopers, and they like being in the gym. They like having their routine, and you know, there might be something to be said for just missing that time where we can get in the gym whenever we want and really work. And maybe that's part of the reason for the slow start versus San Diego. But there was some really nice parts about it as well, and we hopefully can get a win next time.
Well, San Diego was the game on Wednesday. We'll go real quick through that one on Sunday against San Francisco. 85-80 loss. There's a lot of good in that game. As you look back, just a couple little things that kind of helped San Francisco have a run late and eke it out? Yeah,
you know, it's really easy, and you know, everyone around us, including ourselves, we will overreact to wins and losses. And there's just a focus on getting better. And I think when you look at that USF game, there's a lot of positives from it, and we got to take out that toxic ending of the game where we had a 7-point lead with about 2 minutes to go and couldn't get over the hump. But I think the way we were able to move the ball and score against a team that pressures like USF was a step in the right direction, and they got a little comfortable from three and knocked down some big shots late. But I thought the fight and the focus was there. We got to close out games and get a little more consistent.
That was the last game the Cougs were without Reeve Avers. He had to miss 2 games against Gonzaga and San Francisco. I know it's tough when you don't have him available, and you already, you know, don't have the full complement of guys that you'd expect when you just look at some of the injury issues the team has had to go through this year. But it was especially nice against San Diego, and then him getting that game underneath him to have him back available for you.
Yeah, you know, missing Ree was big, and that's the beauty of having the versatile guys that we have. Like Ree and Thomas are probably our more traditional three. Ree, Thomas, and Case are our more traditional threes, and they were all out during that stretch. But it's the beauty of having versatile guys. You know, with Ems, EY, and Simon, they can all kind of slide between 3 to 5, and then we can always play 3 guards in our offense. And I thought Ace and Audrey and Jerome and Parker did a good job kind of filling that void. And we opened up some few things that I think can give us a good look down the stretch with those lineups.
That takes us to the last game of the road trip, and then we'll talk about that Pepperdine game right after. San Diego, it was a slow start for the Cougs. Down by 18 early, a rally that brought the team within 2 late, but San Diego hangs on 96-92. What are the first things that go through your mind as you think back with that one? And I'm sure that's one where you're chomping at the bit for that next opportunity against San Diego.
For sure. I mean, both those games they're tough to remember right now. That San Diego game is one we didn't come out ready to go defensively, and I thought they got some rhythm, and they have some really talented players that hit some big shots in the second half. But at the end of the day, like our force that we played with defensively to start the game wasn't good enough, and that I think hopefully for us it's kind of that last moment where we realize kind of what we have and how hard it is to be a great team, and we've showed great flashes offensively for the last few weeks. We showed great flashes defensively the few weeks before that. We've shown we can close out games like the LMU game, but we got to put it all together, and I think that's the beauty of this team kind of going into the last stretch of the season, is hopefully we can learn from those lessons and finish out strong.
That takes us to Saturday. The Cougs had played 4 of the prior 5 games away from Pullman, back at Beasley, and it was a convincing 95-79 victory over Pepperdine. What gave the team not only the edge in that game, but the edge where it was a pretty significant margin of victory over the Waves?
I thought there was some really – we started off the game great on both sides of the ball, and the guys were playing with a ton of force defensively and really connected offensively. We had 20 assists that game. The guys were moving the ball early to give everyone rhythm, and I thought that got us a nice lead. And then, we still got to get more consistent defensively, and they got back in the game with a few errors we made, and then they started hitting some tough shots. And that's when you're playing this level of basketball, guys, if they get rhythm and they see the ball go in, it's tough to guard guys. And so I think that was good for our guys to see of how hard we got to fight for that, and we can't just come in focused to the game. We got to stay focused, and I think when we're playing team basketball on offense and we're connected on defense, we're pretty dang good.
Cougs getting the victory Saturday over Pepperdine, starting a stretch of 3 straight at home. Next up, Wednesday against Seattle U, 6:30 start time. Then Saturday, Washington State hosting Portland. Well, reminder that the Cougar Basketball Hour is presented by Crimson and Gray. Visit them at 1096 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, or find them at every coach's show this season. Crimson and Gray, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. And also Toyota, the Junior Cougs Kids Club, is presented by Toyota, is the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsucougars.com/JRCougs. We'll take another break. When we come back, more with David Riley. Also still to come, we'll have Ace Glass and Emmanuel Ugbo stopping by. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour. We'll be back after this. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
When putting in a tree or fence post, we all hate it when our shovel hits a big rock. But there are worse things to come across, like a natural gas or electric line. Nowadays, buried utilities are everywhere, some just below the surface. That's why it's the law to call 811 before you dig, to have your lines marked ahead of time. It's free for Avista residential customers. So call 811 2 business days before you dig. You need time to pick out that perfect shrub anyway. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Your audio home for all things Cougar Athletics is the Washington State Cougar Podcast Channel. Just search for Washington State Cougars on your favorite podcast platform to follow and subscribe to the official podcast home of the Cougs. Hear our original WSU Athletics podcast, plus replays from the Cougar Sports Network, including football pregame and postgame show coverage, full football game broadcast, and coaches shows. Find it all by searching for Washington State Cougars on your favorite podcast platform to start listening today.
This winter, you don't need to know how to slalom, land a triple axel, or pull off a McTwist 1260, whatever that is, to get to the podium. The only physical feat required is getting off the couch for Northern Quest's $60,000 podium payout. Play daily with your Campus Rewards card to enter. Plus, earn 4 times entries every Tuesday, and you could take home $25,000 on January 29th with absolutely no cardio. The podium payout, only at Northern Quest.
If you use natural gas, you recognize its blue flame. But natural gas is actually invisible and odorless. That's why Avista adds a rotten egg scent, in case there's ever a leak. If you smell natural gas at home, get outside fast. Don't flip switches or do anything to cause a spark. Go somewhere safe. Call 911. Then Avista. We'll take care
10
of the
seconds.
problem and tell you when it's okay to return. Till then, it's a good excuse to visit the neighbors. Avista. We just want you to be
5.
safe.
Back at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman, it is the Cougar Basketball Hour, talking about those 2 home games coming up this week. Washington State at Beasley Coliseum Wednesday against Seattle U, Saturday against Portland, 6:30 tip-off Wednesday against the Red Hawks, Portland 3 o'clock start time. A reminder, a strong NIL program is fueling a new era for Cougar athletics. WSU is creating opportunities that attract elite talent, keep our stars in Pullman, and unite Cougs everywhere. You can now support NIL through a tax-deductible donation to the Cougar Athletic Fund by joining the Cougar Collective's 1890 Club or by partnering your business with a student athlete through Playfly Max. Together, we're building the foundation for long-term success in the new Pac-12. Go Cougs. Well, back here with David Riley, the head coach of the Cougs, and we discussed that last game against Pepperdine, and it was a 95-79 win over the Waves. But I think for fans in attendance, maybe the highlight for a good majority of them was seeing Dio Blakely get in. And not only did he come in, he scored. It was his 3rd game that he's played in for the Cougs. The freshman scored, had a block, had a rebound, and that reaction from the entire team, the bench, and the guys out on the court with him was pretty electric. I know we kind of discussed it after the game, but how was it once you kind of got to the locker room after and hearing guys a little bit more as things settled down, just to hear how pumped up they were for him?
You know, it's just great to see the guys get excited for Dio. He's been working his tail off ever since he got out here in the summer, and it was just a really cool moment to see the whole crowd go crazy for him, and he knocked those free throws down and got the block. And yeah, you know, he's got his 2 roommates here. I guess there wasn't room in the car to get him out to the radio show. He wanted to come, but he does a great job in practice for us. And man, between his minutes at Pepperdine and some of the minutes he had in Europe when he played, he's got some good game minutes. He's not bad when he checks in.
What, were you worried it was going to be too loud? It was funny, one of those things where the crowd was so into it that they maybe even added a little more pressure to Dio when he had his 2 foul shots, but he delivered. He wasn't phased.
Knocked him down, ice cold.
Well, that was neat to see, to have him out there and to have that impact that he did, and just kind of see that recognition, as you mentioned when we talked on the post-game show. If you go to the Great W, he's someone who's friends with everyone. Doesn't matter the team, doesn't matter where they're from, that he makes friends pretty quickly.
Yeah, you know, he's always running around. This summer is where it was really obvious because, you know, it's only athletic teams in the dorms and on campus, and he would just be walking with someone or eating with someone every day, and he walks by and everyone calls him out, and he's got to go check in with all these different people. He's a social butterfly.
That is great. Well, we've got 2 guys here tonight that we want to have you kind of set it up. Give us the intro. We got Emmanuel Ugbo and Ace Glass stopping by. We'll have Ems, as you call him, the nickname for him. He'll be joining us next. Let's start right there. What can you tell Coug fans about what he brings to the program, both on and off the court?
Man, just a great energy every time he's around. I mean, probably got our two guys that are in the gym more than anyone in the building today. They're very, very hard workers. And Ems is someone that me and Pedro have recruited. Probably we've known him for about four years or so now. When he was playing in Germany, before he came over to Boise, someone that we were looking at back at Eastern Washington, and always been following him, and just a complete player that can really do a little bit of everything, and just glad we got him out to finally coach him this year.
Well, we'll talk to him next. And then there's Ace Glass. It was announced today for the 3rd time this season. Ace Glass is the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week. He has hit the ground running, no doubt about it, in his college career. What do you want Coug fans to know about Ace Glass? Someone that you heard the cheering there. They've done a lot of cheering for him at Beasley Coliseum this year.
Ace is just doing a great job. His freshman year a freshman year is really, really hard to deal with. Every day is new. You're in college for the first time. Every environment that you're playing in, with a different scouting report, different level of play, is just a whirlwind. And what he's done to handle it and continue to get better every single game has been really, really impressive. And I just think he's a talented scorer, and we knew that walking in, but everything else he's been able to add to his game in the last 6 months has been fun to watch, and just appreciative that everyone gets to kind of be on this journey with us.
Well, we're excited to talk to those two guys next. Coach, we'll let you loose for now and have you back a little later on as we preview the home games this week against Seattle U and Portland.
Go Cougs.
Again, that is David Riley, head coach of the Cougs here at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. And a reminder, each week, check out the Inside WSU Athletics podcast. Here straight from WSU Interim Director of Athletics, John Harlow, as the podcast will take fans inside Cougar Athletics with all the latest news and information, including interviews with Cougar coaches, student athletes, alumni, and staff. Find each Inside WSU Athletics podcast episode on the WSU Cougars YouTube page, or download the show and listen on your favorite podcast platform. We've got a new episode dropping a little later this week, but the one that is available now, if you haven't had a chance, check it out. We have Kirby Moore on. So Kirby Moore kind of gets things up to speed on the latest for the Cougar football program. He talks about the date. It is set for the spring game when spring practice starts, when the team will be heading up to Spokane as well. We talked to Matthias McLean, who has a little bit of Parker Garrett in him, I would say, where there's these generational ties to being a Coug. Matthias McLean, who transferred from Idaho, going to set for his first season playing for the Cougar football program next year, mentions how many members of his family went to WSU. And I'll give you a hint, it's over a dozen. So we'll hear his story, how he became a Coug, and we'll also talk with Brad Hutchins as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, it's the Inside WSU Athletics podcast. It's available right now on the WSU Cougars YouTube page or on the Washington State Cougars podcast channel. Well, we'll take a break here from the Lumberyard. When we return on the Cougar Basketball Hour, Emmanuel Ugbo will join us. That's all after this, right here on the Cougar Sports Network.
We've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays, but now we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, are now available at Wegmans.
For nearly 100 years, Adams Tractor has helped the Northwest knock out to-do list one tough job at a time. As your local Kubota dealer in Spokane and Lewiston, we're proud to back Washington State Athletics with the same grit we bring to every yard, field, and job site. From mowing to digging to plowing, Kubota delivers, and so do we. Visit AdamsTractor.com. Adams Tractor, nearly a century strong, powered by Kubota, fueled by Coug pride.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a WSU fan and you haven't switched your phone service to Cougs Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Cougs Mobile contributes to WSU Athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contracts, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Coug fans and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit CougsMobile.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or
30
Not to
seconds.
Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
At the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman, it is the Cougar Basketball Hour. Well, Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards program. Stay tuned for more information on how to become a Rewards program member. Well, we're excited to welcome in our first of two guests tonight, Emmanuel Ugbo, member of the WSU men's basketball team. Thanks for being here. How is life as a Coug year one here in Pullman?
It's been great. Like the sorry, the Pullman community, everybody that comes out to the games has just been great. It feels like a very big family. Everywhere you go to, the airports, it's always go Cougs. So it's been amazing.
Well, and recently, you haven't been that far away from Pullman in the grand scheme of things, and just where you're from originally, that you were at Boise State, but you're from the Netherlands. Can you kind of walk us through this whole journey that you've been through that has ultimately brought you here to the Palouse?
So I used to play soccer. I played soccer for 7, almost 8 years. Ended up switching to basketball when I was 14, and I liked it. And I was tall for my age, so I just played basketball with my friends. Signed with a club, not signed, but like just started playing with a club, and played in the Netherlands for 3 years. Moved to Germany when I was 17. Played there in the under-19s and with the second men's team and also the first men's team. So that is the Champions League and the German Bundesliga. And after 3 years there, I moved to Boise. Was there for 2 years, and now I'm here.
And now you're here. For folks who aren't as familiar with what basketball's like in the Netherlands, how popular is it? Is it a big deal? Where does it kind of rank in the sports hierarchy in your home country?
I feel like it's growing now, but it's not like the main sport. The main sport is obviously soccer. And I mean, everybody I grew up with played soccer. Like both my cousins play professional right now, so a lot of my good friends play professional or at a high level. So it's just, that's really the main sport. But basketball, it's getting there.
Well, you come from a good athletic family. Then for your cousins, are they playing professionally in the Netherlands, or are they playing?
One of my cousins is playing in the Netherlands, and one of them is playing in England.
Okay, wow. What level in England?
He's playing in the Premier League for Manchester United.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, you heard a little gasp from the crowd here. For the folks who are big soccer fans, who's your cousin? What's his name?
Joshua Zirkzee.
Okay. What's his? If you give us his kind of bio for those who tuning in, they might know. Oh, I'm big in the Premier League. I know exactly who that is. But for folks who are maybe a little more casual on it, and they want to say, okay, well now there's a Cougar connection to a team in the Premier League. Can you kind of fill us in on his career?
Basically, same beginnings, kind of like he started in his home team club, VV Hekelingen, and then ended up playing with my other cousin at Spartan 20, another like smaller team from where my other cousin Nelson is from. And then they both ended up teaming up again at Feyenoord, like basically the biggest team in Rotterdam, and for the youth. And then Joshua signed with Bayern Munich, and this under 17 stayed there for a minute, had a couple pit stops also in Italy, and now he's in England.
Have you been able to, I know you've got a lot on your plate, but have you been able to see him play a game?
No, I haven't been able to go to England and watch him play, but I mean, I've been, looking at the stats. Whenever it works out, I try to watch a live stream.
Some early mornings, right?
Yeah.
How early? Like what time are we talking?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Okay.
Yeah.
Not as early as I was thinking. 7 seems a little more.
7 is fine.
A little more manageable. So you go to Boise State to start off with. How did you get connected to Boise State? At what point was that on your radar, saying, "Hey, I want to go play Division I college basketball in the U.S.?"
I got invited to this camp, like it was an NBA camp in Atlanta. Fun fact, Adrian Rodriguez was also at that camp.
Really?
But at the time, we didn't know each other.
Wow, okay. Yeah. And here you are, teammates at WSU.
Yeah. But I was at that camp, and that's when I started getting recruited. A lot of teams reached out, including Boise State, and I was still in Germany for that year. And one of the assistant coaches, David Pavlakovic, he worked at Boise State. He was the video coordinator, and at that point he was in Germany. So he was like, "Oh, they actually like you a lot. They want to get you over there. You should go on a visit." So during the FIBA break, I went on a visit for 2 days. I liked it, and I was like, "Well, I think this is where I want to go." So.
Well, and then you're here playing college basketball in the U.S. and becoming a Coug shortly thereafter. We'll kind of serve that as our teaser going to the next segment. So hang tight with us. We'll have you for another segment. We're here with Emmanuel Ugbo. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour here from the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. Again, still to come. More with Emmanuel. Then we'll have Ace Glass stopping by, and David Riley will rejoin us as we preview those 2 home games this week. Cougs hosting Seattle U Wednesday and Portland on Saturday. We'll be back after this break. You're listening to Cougar Basketball Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. Rural communities face unique healthcare challenges. By providing hands-on opportunities for WSU students in health sciences, nursing, pharmacy, and the Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine, Pullman Regional Hospital is helping to shape the future of local healthcare. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Be a a part of all the excitement at Beasley Coliseum this year. Come cheer on the Washington State Cougars men's and women's basketball teams as they host the likes of Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Oregon State in conference play this season. Don't miss out on all the action. Grab your tickets to upcoming WSU basketball games today at WSUCougars.com/tix. Again, that's WSUCougars.com/TIX. See you at Beasley Coliseum. Go Cougs!
For nearly 100 years, Adams Tractor has helped the Northwest knock out to-do list one tough job at a time. As your local Kubota dealer in Spokane and Lewiston, we're proud to back Washington State athletics with the same grit we bring to every yard, field, and job site. From mowing to digging to plowing, Kubota delivers, and so do we. Visit AdamsTractor.com. Adams Tractor, nearly a century strong, powered by Kubota, fueled by Coug pride.
When putting in a tree or fence post, we all hate it when our shovel
30
hits
seconds.
a big rock. But there are worse things to come across, like a natural gas or electric line. Nowadays, buried utilities are everywhere, some just below the surface. That's why it's the law to call 811 before you dig, to have your lines marked ahead of time. It's free for Avista residential customers. So call 811 2 business days before you dig. You need time to pick out that perfect shrub anyway. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
This is the Cougar Basketball Hour.
Makes the pass, left wing three, takes it, and makes it. Oh, and another big three is needed. It's Reeve Avers who delivers again.
Tonight's show is presented by Crimson and Gray. Visit them at 1096 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, or find them at every Cougar Basketball Hour this season. Crimson and Gray, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics.
Pumas Gustafson, one-hand alley-oop lay-in.
Once again, back to the Lumberyard Food Hall in downtown Pullman. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
We are back in here once again with Emmanuel Ugbo talking with the WSU Ford. Is again still to come. Ace Glass will join us, and David Riley will hop back up here as we'll preview those 2 home games this week for the program. Wednesday against Seattle U, Saturday against Portland. Okay, we talked about kind of your path to a certain point, but you were at Boise State, and then you end up going into the portal this last year. What made WSU the right fit for you, and deciding, hey, that's the spot I want to continue my career?
Like Coach said, I've known the coaching staff for like 4 or 5 years now. Like, they was already talking to me before I ever even went to that camp and all that stuff. Like, I was already talking to Pedro. I talked to Coach Riley when they were still at Eastern, and when I got into the portal, it just made a lot of sense. Like, we play type of basketball I like to play, fast-paced, read and react. It's very free. Every position gets to do basically everything on the court, and I feel like it just fit the type of player I am. Like I said, like, I knew the coaches, I trusted the coaches. Also, really helped that we had Rylan Bergeson, because I've known Rylan for a longer time, and I met Rylan while he was still playing. So, yeah, it just made sense, and I felt like a family when I got here, and everything was just a great situation for me.
We talked during the break that, it doesn't hurt for WSU as a sales pitch, and it's a well-earned sales pitch to a recruit like yourself to say, hey, look at this track record that we've had. Cedric Coward, Jalen Wells, Isaac Jones, and we can kind of go down the list of guys just in recent years to say, hey, they went from here to there, come play with us.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking in that process. Like, we had like Cedric go to the NBA last year, Isaac Jones, Jalen Wells, Mohamed Gay. Like, I saw Mohamed Gay play actually on my visit my visit at Boise, because during my visit Boise State played Washington State in the Boise downtown arena. So that was a team with DJ Rodman, Mohamed Gay, Kimani Husnu, that team. So it was just crazy just to see them go from college, from this place where I'm at right now, to the NBA.
And to see them thriving as well. And for you, how's everything going in the classroom? What are you studying?
I'm studying business, and the classroom has been fine, completely fine.
Well, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. And I'm thinking, as we looked at what's to come, it's Seattle U Wednesday, it's Portland Saturday, but the team fresh off this win over Pepperdine. What's been the emphasis in the locker room with Coach Riley to say, hey, we got this win over Pepperdine, here's how we turned it into a victory over Seattle U, and to keep that momentum going?
Just keep playing desperate. Like, we know what we want out of this season, and we know that we can do better than we have shown. And it's time now to go show that to not just only to the fans in Pullman, but to the entire conference and the entire country, that we're capable to actually go win these games, and these games that people think we can't go win. Like, we're capable of doing that.
Excited to see you and your teammates in action next on Wednesday. Emmanuel, thank you for being here. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Emmanuel Ugbo, our guest here on the Cougar Basketball Hour. Again, when we come back, it will be Ace Glass joining us, and David Riley will be back up here a little later on as we talk about what's to come for the program. But as we discuss these home games that are on tap Wednesday and Saturday, a reminder that single game tickets to WSU men's and women's basketball are available right now at WSUCougars.com/tix. Come experience all the action at Beasley Coliseum. It is WSUCougars.com/TIX, that link to get your tickets. We'll be back after this break. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Hi, I'm Andre Gabriel.
I'm Dara Peters.
And I'm Tasia Sniffen. We're cheerleaders on the WC Spirit Squad.
Meet Krista Gross, the realtor who supports students like us with NIL sponsorships and resources to help us succeed.
She's dedicated, relentless, and always puts her clients first, just like a true Coug.
With award-winning service and a passion for helping people, Krista is the ultimate coach for home buyers and sellers.
Support her because she supports us. You can find her online at KristaGross.com. That's Krista with a K, KristaGross.com. Go Cougs!
If we know anything about Cougs fans, it's that a win isn't all you're hungry for on game day. So Northern Quest has a full lineup of restaurants and lounges ready to face any appetite. Cheer on your Cougs with craft beer and cocktails in front of Epic's 10 by 30-foot screen. Grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, or tackle a burger at Fat Burger. You know, before it tackles you. Full menus at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We are back at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman here on the Cougar Basketball Hour, and we're excited to welcome in Ace Glass. Ace, how are you doing? Good to see you tonight.
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Well, we got a lot to go over with you, and it's been incredible to see what you've been able to accomplish as a freshman and hitting the ground running, no doubt about it, and it's your first year of college basketball. But Aaron Glass, but Coug fans know you by Ace. Where does that name Ace come from?
I got it as a young kid from my father. He just gave me. I was his ace. I was number one, like the card deck. So I just took it and went with it. It sounded good together.
Well, it does sound good. It has a nice ring to it, and it's fun calling games that you play in because we're saying your name a lot. And Ace Glass, when you Google Ace Glass, there's only one that comes up. Yeah. So it is a unique name, and there you are having a great freshman year, averaging 16 points per game. That puts you in the top 15 of the nation for freshman scores. You're currently in the top 5 in the WCC in points per game. What in your mind has allowed you to be as impactful as you have been in year one of college basketball?
I feel like my teammates and my coaches trusting me. They're putting in that trust that I can take the shots that I think are good for the team and just making plays that are going to help us win. Like, in my control, I want to try to win as many games as possible. So doing whatever that takes, if it's scoring or rebounding, playing defense. So just doing whatever it takes to win.
We want to dive into your route that brought you here to WSU, but you went to Rancho Cucamonga High School. You're from California. You left as the program's all-time leading scorer, over 2,000 points. It's the same high school as Houston Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud. What kind of legacy does C.J. Stroud have at your high school?
Yeah, no, he has a big legacy. Everybody talks about him every day. He's like a big brother to me. He's like a mentor to me. We talk here and there. But when he's focused on the season, so I don't talk to him too much. But after the season, we'll probably go play basketball together. He loves to play basketball, so we'll play one-on-one. We'll play 5-on-5 at Rancho, all that, so, yeah.
Who wins in one-on-one between you and C.J. Stroud?
My freshman year, you know what I'm saying, he beat me, but recently we played, maybe 2 years ago, I beat him.
Okay, there we go. We'll have to get the report after the next time the two of you meet up, and I'm trying to think age difference. He's got, what, 6-7 years on you in that ballpark? When did you first meet him? It sounds like you guys have this really neat relationship, a mentor towards you. When did you first get connected with him?
So he came to talk to our team my freshman year, right before we were about to play CIF. We won the CIF championship my freshman year, so he came to talk to us, give us like a little motivation, basically. And my coach just told him like I was going to be the next up, so he came to talk to me. And obviously I looked up to him. He was at Ohio State killing, so I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be like, yeah.
Well, that is quite the person you have as a resource to be able to lean on, and what a successful career he has had. So for you, last year at this time, I imagine WSU wasn't as much on your radar. You were committed to Texas A&M. They have a coaching change, and that kind of starts the domino effect that brings you here to Pullman. How did you end up becoming a Coug?
First, I feel like God put me in the right place. For me, so I feel like everything happened for a reason. I feel like I'm here for a reason. And obviously, it's been a good year meeting new people. Coaches have been great. So besides that, yeah, Coach Buzz left to Maryland. Then my agency was doing a good job of trying to find me a new place, and I met David Riley, which was a great coach, and that's the real reason why I committed here. Was the coaching staff was amazing. So, yeah.
And when you got connected with the coaching staff, what was it about what they were telling you, about what they saw for your role? And obviously, it's been a great marriage both ways, a great fit that made you think, hey, I'm sure you had plenty of options to say, hey, this is where I'm going to go and where I can have the biggest impact.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like it was a pretty easy choice. The coaching staff was really done it for me. The development piece was great, and just the things they were saying, like they have obviously former NBA players that were here. So that's obviously a big part because that's where I want to be. So just following what the coaches say. They're pushing me to be a better player. They're not just telling me what I want to hear, but just trying to push me to be better every single day. So that's really big for me.
You're a little over 20 games in your college career, and you've already etched your name in the Cougar record book. We go back to that performance you had in Maui, scoring 40 points against Arizona State, a WSU record, most points in a single game for a freshman. How do you look back on that night? Because anytime you score 40, I don't care what level, let alone going up against a Division I team, a team like Arizona State, that's a heck of a performance.
Yeah, I'm just blessed. I don't think I was thinking too much about it. I was just playing. I feel like I got into a mode where I wasn't really thinking. I was just playing basketball. So I don't really think back too much on it. I try to stay in the moment, try to worry about the next game. We got to beat Seattle on Wednesday, and then just try to go day by day, trying to get better each day.
And you were just named today the WCC Freshman of the Week, an honor that you've earned 3 times. And you've had incredible success this year. But for anyone, whether you're a redshirt senior or a freshman, there's going to be some times in the year where maybe you have a cold patch. How is it? Because you're getting used to a lot. You're in a new spot. You're getting used to being a college student just when it comes to the classroom, just the college basketball environment. How is it where maybe it's a night that things don't go your way, that you go through that and you get on the other side?
Yeah, waking up and going to Dave Riley's office, that always helps. So just going to him every morning. We talk 4 or 5 times a week, so that really helps get my mind right. He always tells me, like, everything's not as bad as it seems and everything's not as good as it seems. So when you put it like that, when he tells me that, like, everything seems like it's going to be all right.
That's pretty good life advice. So 4 or 5 times a week, you're in David Riley's office. How long? You guys are just kind of chopping it up?
Yeah, we don't really got no time on it. We just spend time with each other. It's good, yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, in the classroom, you're only a freshman, so I'm not going to kind of get you down too much as far as what are you studying, what it is. You're just getting started. But how's everything going in the classroom? Do you have any thoughts so far on what you might want to major in?
Yeah, my major right now is psychology, so just been doing that. Like, I like to learn about the mind, learn about people, so that's been my major so far. Class been good, chill, nothing too crazy.
It applies pretty well to sports, doesn't it?
Sure, yeah. That's why I like it too, yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, the team has Seattle U and Portland coming to town. It will be the first stretch where it's round 2 against a conference opponent. Seattle U, one that the team will be looking to get one back after falling in Seattle to the Red Hawks, trying to get the regular season sweep over Portland. What goes through your mind when you think about these two matchups, which it has a nice ring to it? At home this week, the Cougs taking on those two opponents.
I feel like it's us versus us. I feel like no team could beat us. We only beat ourselves. So when we come in playing how Washington State usually plays, we'll come in and beat everybody. So that's how I feel. We're going to go hard at practice this week and be prepared for Wednesday.
6:30 on Wednesday, Seattle U the opponent. 3 o'clock on Saturday at Beasley. The Portland Pilots come to town. Ace, thanks for being here. Congrats on what has been a awfully impressive start to your college career, and looking forward to seeing you and your teammates in action these next 2 home games.
I appreciate you. Go
Again,
Cougs.
that is Ace Glass joining us here on the Cougar Basketball Hour. A reminder, you can earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We'll take another timeout. Still to come, we'll be rejoined by the head coach of the Cougs, David Riley, as we'll preview those 2 games at home this week. Seattle U on Wednesday, Portland on Saturday. You're listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Dear Traction, Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. The RAV4 has legendary versatility. The Grand Highlander's adult-sized 3rd row is for real. And the Tacoma's wild side comes standard. From job sites to campsites and game nights, there's an all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive Toyota to get you there in style. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Download the WSU Cougars mobile app today, which features the latest news. Plus, it's your way to stream all of our Cougar Sports Network radio broadcasts. Listen to Cougar football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball game broadcast, plus coaches shows, all for free with WSU Cougars Game Day app. Take our broadcast with you wherever you go. Available now by searching WSU Cougars Game Day in the Apple App Store or Google Play.
Cougs, to lead in the new Pac-12, we have to attack this together. Name, image, and likeness, NIL, is essential. It's how our programs recruit, retain, and elevate our student athletes who don the crimson and gray. And now, you can directly support WSU NIL through our Cougar Athletic Fund. A tax-deductible gift to our Sport Excellence Funds powers WSU's NIL efforts, all in one place. Visit WSUCougars.com and select NIL in the drop-down menu to learn more. Go Cougs!
For nearly 100 years, Adams Tractor has helped the Northwest knock out to-do list one tough job at a time. As your local Kubota dealer in Spokane and Lewiston, we're proud to back Washington State athletics with the same grit we bring to every yard, field, and job site. From mowing to digging to plowing, Kubota
All right, we have the
delivers,
one more segment
and
after
so
this,
do we.
right?
Visit AdamsTractor.com.
Yeah.
Adams Tractor, nearly a century strong, powered by Kubota, fueled
5.
by Coug pride.
Tonight's show is brought to you in part by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. We are back here at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. As we mentioned at the top of the show, this is our last edition of the Cougar Basketball Hour on the men's side here at the Lumberyard. A big thank you again to the Lumberyard for being excellent hosts here. Starting next week, we will head over to the Table Kitchen and Bar at Palouse Ridge Golf Club. So tomorrow night's Cougar Basketball Hour, the women's basketball edition with Steve Grubbs and Cami Etheridge will be here at the Lumberyard. But both shows starting next week will head over to the Table Kitchen and Bar. We're joined now by the head coach of the Cougs, David Riley. I'm just thinking back to those 2 conversations, Emmanuel Ugbo and Ace Glass, both guys, fascinating backgrounds, fascinating stories. Did you know that Emmanuel had a cousin playing in the Premier League?
I knew he had a cousin playing high-level soccer. Yeah, I mean that was not necessarily. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, so I don't know the levels of the leagues and all that. But I knew he has some family members playing big time pro ball.
Well, that's remarkable, and we hear a lot about multi-sport athletes. I don't know if soccer would be your number one pick. Do you have a number one pick as far as if you're recruiting a guy and you know they play another sport? Is it okay? I like knowing that they play this sport because I think that will help translate to basketball.
I mean, I always like football players. Just know they're pretty tough. But soccer's one that they can see the angles a little bit differently, and they got good feet. Like big men who play soccer, they got quick feet typically.
That's a good way to put it. Are you in this day and age, and maybe it's gotten a little better. I think we kind of overcorrected one way, and it's gotten a little better when it's super specialization, where if you're young and you want to play a sport, you just got to specialize in that and play it year round. Do you like that? Do you think it's better if someone's just focusing on basketball, or do you like knowing the fact that, hey, when you're 12, 13, 14, that you're more diversified, you're playing other sports, you're picking up these other skill sets?
I think basketball-wise, like for me, recruiting-wise, there's different ways to get there, and if you didn't play a different sport or you did, I mean, we're not gonna like overanalyze that, I don't think. But I think there is some benefit to guys playing different sports, whether it's injury prevention-wise and building different muscles, and especially like some of the like tennis or some of the hand-eye stuff, or football, obviously with the contact. We got a couple football players that are on our team, and there's a big debate going on with our team right now. It's with the Americans or the non-Americans winning a 7-on-7 football game. And so that was the bus ride conversation home from Eastern Washington. I think that was when that one started, and it's still going on. They bring it up pretty much every day at this point.
And if Coach Riley weighs in, what's the answer?
So regular football, I'm going with the Euros because size matters. If they can rush the quarterback and do that. 7-on-7. It's the Americans. I mean, they got the speed, and Ace and Jerome played a little football, and yeah, well, I don't know. I think the skill positions, I think the Americans got them. With
Ace's connection to C.J. Stroud, maybe that's the answer. But if there's a quarterback of the Cougar basketball team, and you come from a football coaching family, who would that be if you're having to pick who the quarterback is?
I mean, I probably got to go with Ace. Jerome. What position did Jerome play? He's wide receiver? Okay, yeah. Right. Jerome was a pretty good player too, so.
We got the team weighing in here. Well, on that note, we will see everyone back in action on Wednesday. Seattle U, the opponent. This is going to be the first team that the Cougs have played twice in conference play. It was back on December 30th at Climate Pledge Arena. Washington State fell 69-55 to the Red Hawks. What's it going to be like having this second chance? I know the team wanted another crack at the Red Hawks after a game that I know you felt like there was some good in there, but not enough to get that road win.
Yeah, there's some good defensive moments from that game. I thought we did some good stuff to slow them down, and it was a defensive battle, and they really disrupted us offensively. And so I think it's a great game for us to come and show we've improved offensively. We can handle their pressure. We can hopefully get the ball moving side to side a little bit easier. And then it's a game that we got to guard these guys. We got to win this game on defense. It's a must win as far as you can't get swept, and we got to make sure we go get this one.
Kind of a statistical anomaly in that game of just a strange final stat sheet. Cougs dominated on the glass, ended up being a lower scoring game, and can't wait to get those guys at home Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing everyone there at 6:30. Myself and Craig Elo here on the Cougar Sports Network. Our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock. As always, you can listen on one of our 7 Cougar Sports Network affiliates, or you can listen live on the WSU Cougars Game Day app or at wsucougars.com/audio. Portland coming to town on Saturday. That was the conference opener. Cougs went down to Portland. Second straight year, there was more crimson and gray than purple in the stands there at the Child Center. Washington State won 67-62. What will it take to make it a regular season sweep over the Pilots?
They're playing really good right now, and that's a game that we had to end up coming back in. They got up in the second half on us, and we had to make a big run. And I think they got a dynamic freshman guard who's doing a great job. They've really started spacing out their scoring, and I mean they were a 3 away from beating St. Mary's a couple days ago. I think they've won 3 of the last 4 or something like that. So it's a big week for us to have two games like that. And Portland's always a scrappy team. They do a great job with their adjustments, and they'll be well prepared with Shante.
You had this last year with Shantae, but here it is this week set up that Shantae Leggins you coached with. You took over as the head coach at Eastern Washington when he left to take the job at the University of Portland. In Seattle, you coach Chris Victor, someone you also coached with. What's that like? Is a handshake line normal afterwards, or is it because you know them so well it's a little different, or how is that?
It's different. I can't say I enjoy it. Like it's something that we're going to get after it and compete. But they're like Shantae. I spent 10 years with the dude at Eastern Washington. He was my boss for 5 or I think 4, and we were assistants together for 6. And so, we talk a lot. Same thing with Chris Victor. We were on staff together for a couple years at Eastern, and we talk a lot. And they're good friends. But it's hard for me to be friends with someone or looked at them in a positive light during the 40 minutes that we're playing or even building up to it.
Need a little extra cool down time after?
Yeah,
where it's like, hey,
exactly.
No one wants to misinterpret what someone says or just like, okay, let's just let the dust settle, then we can talk about things.
Exactly, yeah.
I imagine. Okay, we're here with David Riley. We got more after this. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. We are listening, or you're tuned in right here on the Cougar Sports Network. More after this.
This message comes from Viking.
All right,
committed
so
to
Zane, we
exploring
will
the
have
world in comfort.
3 to 4
Journey
minutes.
through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship.
Does that sound
with
right?
thoughtful
Yeah,
service,
around 4, I think.
Destination
About 4 minutes.
Dining,
You wanna talk
and
about those
cultural
uniforms?
enrichment on board and on
Not really?
shore with
Fair
small
enough.
ships that
We are back at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour. Back here with the head coach of the Cougs, David Riley. And Coach, we've had some time this year to talk about Cedric Coward, what he's been able to do, but not the only member from last year's team that's playing professionally. Ethan Price and Dane Erikstrup are both playing professionally. Can you give us an update on, at least I know you're busy, they're busy, but the latest you've heard on how those guys are doing?
Man, they're doing really well. And, that last thing you said kind of hits home. Like, I'm used to seeing those guys every day. Ethan did the jump ball for me all 4 years I've been a head coach until this year. And so, I got to call those guys tomorrow and check in. But they're both doing really well. Ethan's playing back in London for the London Lions in a Euro Cup team, which is extremely high level for a rookie to be playing in. I mean, he's playing veteran pros. He's got there's one of the old Zags is on his team. I'm blanking on which one it was. But they got a really, really good team. And then Dane's playing in the B Next in the Netherlands and doing a great job. He's like one of the leading scorers in the league. He's playing with the big man from San Francisco last year on his team. But Dane is like killing it his rookie year, and he's had a couple 30-point games, and just really cool to see both those guys thriving at that next level. And Ethan gets to be close to home. He's living with his girlfriend back in London. I mean, he can't ask for a better setup.
That's awesome to hear. And I think there was one point where I came by the office, the basketball office, and guys were making sure to get Dane's game up. I'm trying to think with the time change of if it was early in the day or what it was. But at that point, I think it might have been before the season. But it was, hey, there's some time. Dane's playing. Let's get it up on the TV.
Oh yeah, we do our best when they're playing. I'll walk down sometimes from the in the hotel to the breakfast room, and Pedro will be down there watching one of Ethan's games, and we'll all turn it on, and it's just really cool to see those guys doing well, and gosh, they look big and strong, and they're doing well in their rookie years.
Dane Erickstrup, when we had him on the Cougar Basketball Hour last year, is pretty notable, not only thriving on the court, but in the classroom as well. Did he end up, he wrapped up that degree. Was it computer science? You have to correct me if I'm wrong, but Dane was, he was a sharp guy.
He was. He's still taking a couple online classes right now. Yeah, he's wrapping it up. It's not a typical 4-year degree that he was getting. He's taking a couple more computer science classes, and I think he's got something else, and he'll be finished this spring. But he's dude super sharp and making the most of getting his education out here.
That was incredible. I know just talking with him last year about some of the classes he was taking, and I know you could somewhat relate. With mathematics major?
I was a math and econ, and so some of his basic math classes I would poke in and try to see if I still had it, but he surpassed me in some of that stuff.
Did you still kind of have it?
No, that's the figuring out the percentage is 6 out of 9 for 3-point percentage is a little easier than the stuff I was doing back in college.
That's what I can do. I'm a comm major. I'm allergic to all that other stuff. Coach, as always, appreciate it. Thanks for the time, and we will see you next before that game Wednesday against Seattle U.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll miss the Lumberyard. I don't know what I'm going to do. I usually have Island Grill DoorDashed at least once a week to my house, so we'll appreciate you guys having us, and go Cougs.
Well said. Again, a big thank you to all the folks here at the Lumberyard. We will be at the table, kitchen, and bar at the Palouse Ridge Golf Club starting next week. A thank you to all of our guests as well. Emmanuel Ugbo, Ace Glass, David Riley, folks who make it possible. Zane Saggio back in the Cougar Sports Network studios. Jared Pringruber on the video side, Jerry Kylo on the audio side. I'm Chris King signing off. You've been tuned in to the Cougar Basketball Hour here on the Cougar Sports Network.
You've been listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour from the Lumberyard